Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture. Today we are going to talk about one of the very important topic, which is the customer service and event service. So we'll talk about sports events. We always emphasize one thing: is the sports industry is a service-oriented industry. In order to attract more customers to come here to watch the competition, so we need to go and provide very good service. So there are many different factors that will impact customer whether they would like to come to the game or not. Obviously, the quality of the game is important. Obviously, if you be able to have a high profile athlete to be part of the competitions, that will help you. But also the very important thing is we are able to provide good service to them. We can enhance their experience when they're watching the competitions. So before we start, I would like to introduce one of the very important concept, which is the service quality. What is service quality? Service quality is the customer's overall impressions of relative inferiority and superiority of the organization and its service. When we are hosting an event, you have to know there are so many different stakeholders involved. All the stakeholders, they are requiring for different types of service. For instance, when we have the athletes to participate in the competition, if athletes got injured during the event, so they need to call medical timeout and ask the trainers or doctors to help them to check whether the injuries is very severe or not. And so those are the service the athletes are requiring during the competition. For the spectators, right? So if they have the opportunity to come and participate in or even attend a sports event, so they would like to know a lot of different things. So for instance, they want to know where the restaurant is. So having the signage is actually very important to guide them to the right directions, right? So a lot of time the spectators may always ask volunteers to help them find out their seats, and they want to buy waters. They would like to watch the game in a very clean facility. So those kind of things are all service we can provide it to the customers. And the third type of the stakeholders are participants, right? In addition to the athlete we mentioned previously, if we have the participants with disabilities, you will have to provide additional service to help them, such as parking, such as ADA seats, and place for wheelchairs. So those kind of service that we can provide it to the customers. So sports service and sports groups, they are different. So the differences between sports groups and sports service could be shown in these four areas. The first one is called tangibility. So tangibility talk about whether you can be touched or seen. Obviously, sports groups you are able to touch, right? If you go and buy the basketball, you can go and touch it, you can feel it. And for sports service, a lot of time you can't really touch. The main thing is you're able to experience. So that is kind of different. So that's the first difference. The second difference has been shown in consistency. So the consistency is talk about whether the product or service you receive could be consistent in terms of the qualities. For the sports groups, it's a lot easier for the sports product to be very consistent. Right? If you go to, let's say Walmart to buy a basketball, maybe they have different kind of brand. All the brand, I think they produce very similar products. Right? You're gonna buy the first product or second product, the quality wise is more or less the same. It's very consistent. Sports service is different. Right? When we are providing service to the customers, there are many different things will impact the service that we provide to the customers. Sometimes when we try to provide service to these very kind customers. We try to be friendly. Sometimes when we talk to the angry customers, it's very difficult to deal with that situation. So the service we provide is also different. So the quality of the service is sometimes not very consistent. And also we talk about service is all related to everyone's experience, right? Everyone's experience are very, very subjective, right? If you go to a sports event, you speak to 5 volunteers or 5 staff who work for the event, you might really like talking to one staff and over the other staff. So we talk about service sometimes are very subjective. It's very difficult for us to measure what kind of service we should provide, or whether people are happy with the service we provide. So the third difference is called perishability, right? Sports groups is going to be there for a very long period of time, right? But sports service is different, right? When we provide service to the customers, when the customer left, the service we provide disappear, right? So cannot be stored and used another time, right? Sports groups are different, right? They won't be perishables, right? You play basketball. The basketball is still going to be there next day, so that's not perishable. And the last thing is about separability. Separability is to examine whether it is produced at the same time when it's consumed. For the sports groups, normally all the products are being produced first and then available in the retailer. People go and buy it and then consume the product, right? So just give example, you like drinking waters, you go to a vending machine to buy a waters, right? So the water being produced first, and then you can consume this product anytime you like. Sports service is different. For a customer, when they go and watch a sports event, when they receive the service, this service is also being provided by the service providers, right? So for the productions and consumption process for the sports service, as the same, they happen at the same time simultaneously, right? So this is about the differences between sports groups and sports service. Speaking about customer service, we're also going to introduce some other concept. We talk about service quality. Why do we have to pay attention on the service quality? It's because having a very high service quality, they will link to higher event satisfaction. They will also increase customers' behaviors intentions. So for the event satisfactions, that means how people perceive about the experience they have when they're participating in events. This is about event satisfactions. For the event satisfactions, obviously, they include 2 types, satisfaction and dissatisfactions, right? Service quality will also have a direct connections with the behavior intention, right? Behavior intention that refer to a person's perceived likelihood or subjective probabilities that he or she will engage in the given behaviors. So what kind of the behavior intention that a customer will have? In a general business, normally a customer will have 5 different intentions. The first intention is you have a strong loyalty to the company, right? You buy this product all the time, you have very strong loyalty, and you always want to buy the products from this organization, right? So this is about one intention. The second intention is when you are not quite happy with these products, you possibly want to switch to another brand, right? So this is the second type of intention. The third type of intention is when you're really happy with these products, you're willing to spend more money buying more of these products in the future, right? And the last 2 intention, one is called external response to the problem. Another one is called internal response to the problem, right? So these talk about when a customer is not quite happy with what they experience, they normally will have negative word of mouth to let the other people know about his terrible experiences, right? So this is one of the intention. The last intention is for internal response to the problem, right? When you're not happy with the products that you just purchased, and then you possibly would like to complain to the employee, let them know that I just bought these products, I only used for 1 day, but see what it looks like right now, so I'm not happy, I ask for a return, right? So those are how they respond to the problems. In a sporting event, sports customers' intention normally include 3 types, right? One is to revisit the destinations, right? You come to this event for the first time, you really like the experience, you want to come over again next time, right? So this is about revisit the destinations. The second one is a repurchase, right? Repurchase is like you like it, you would like to buy this product again, right? Word of mouth is talk about you really enjoy this experience. You would like to use other platforms to let more people to know about the positive experience you have. Of course, this intention could also be looked at it from negative perspective, right? You're not happy about your experience, you possibly less likely to revisit the destination, to repurchase the products, or you're also very likely to send out negative word of mouth on social media, or maybe letting other people know, right? So those are about behavior intentions. So we introduce the 3 important concepts in service literature. The first one is service quality, second one is event satisfaction, second and third one is behavior intention. When we talk about marketing, we know we have 4P, right? In the service, we have a 3P, service mass that include participants, right? Participants including staff, the customers, because a lot of time we say staff is actually part of the service that we provide to the customers, right? Because the customers directly interact with those staff. Right, so they're able to judge whether the staff providing good service to them or not. Right, so the participants is important, and the second thing is about physical evidence. So that includes the environment in which it delivers or any other visual and tangible elements. Right, in sports event, physical evidence will talk about the facility that we're providing to the customers. A lot of times, some of the facilities does have a very good history, a very long history. So one of the examples, I'm showing a picture here, Wrigley Field in Chicago. That is home venue for Chicago Cubs. It's also second oldest venue in the U.S. right now. We talked about the sports facility in the first few lectures, so we know about Chicago Cubs, the Wrigley Field's histories. Right. So what made this venue unique? Of course, is this rich history, the design, its reputation, of course, the location, because the Wrigley Field is right next to the downtown in Chicago, so it's very convenient for people to go and visit. Right. So those are physical evidence. A lot of times, physical evidence also include the design of the facility, the layout of the facility, right, that kind of service. And the last one is called procedures. Procedures are process. That process refers to the step that the customer process through to receive a service. By the process, that means, we'll give you an example. When you order this weekend's match tickets online, so the process, that means how long does it take for you to receive this ticket since you order online, right? How long do you have to wait if you're going to watch the game? How long do you have to wait to buy a bottle of waters, right? If you're not happy with the experiences, you complain to staff. How quickly could they solve the problem that you're facing, right? So this is about the process. So service makes the indicated 3P. So in marketing, that is a very popular topics in the past few years. It's about relationship marketing. Relationship marketing that indicate instead of we are just trying to sell the product to the customers, our goal should we try to build up a long-term relationship with our customers. So this is a strategy designed to foster customers' loyalty, interaction, and long-term engagements. rather than just focus on sales transactions, right? So in order to keep our customers for a long time, so we need to go and think about how we're able to build up this great relationship with the customers. We are not just care about his one-time consumption, we care about his long-term consumptions. That means a lot to sports, because if you go to attend a game, a lot of time like baseball is selling a series tickets, right? A lot of events, other teams, a lot of time every season you have multiple different games you will play at home. A lot of time we'll create the idea of season tickets, right? So to build up this long-term relationship, in order to sell these products, we need to go and build up these good relationships, right? How can we build up a good relationships? So that related to three things. The first thing is communication. We're able to provide the clear information or update information to our customers and let them know the product they're purchasing, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is about interactions. The interaction process is the core of the relationship marketing, because how are we going to build up this relationship? This relationship build up normally go through rounds and rounds of interactions between you and customers. And the third thing is the value. The value process is the output of the relationship marketing. So how are we going to develop this relationship? Is we need to let our target customer know the thing they purchase, the service they purchase is valuable, has a particular values, different from other products or service they have purchased for other business events. Right. To form a relationship, the relationship marketing theorists recommend, they say there are 4 different levels of interactions. The first interaction is called app, right? The second interaction is called episode. The third interaction is called sequences. The last interaction is called relationship, right? So I'll give you an example. You move to Chicago. You've heard about baseball is super popular in Chicago, so you would like to go and watch one Cubs games, right? You have never been to Wrigley Field. You have never been to any of the Cubs games, right? So the ad will be you would like to have your first step. You would like to make a phone call and ask people about where Wrigley Field is located. And you can ask people about where could you purchase the tickets, right? So you could do some research. So those are app, right? Basic app. Episode, that means you have the meetings, right? When you know where the Wrigley Field is located, you could just go there and to ask them about how you'll be able to purchase the tickets, right? And then that's the episode, and then you could just go and watch the game, right? So that's the episode. Sequences is like when you're watching the game, you'll really enjoy these experiences and you would like to come over here again, right? Sequences also include when you have unhappy experiences while watching a game, someone able to deal with these complaints, right? So this is about sequences. The last one is you be able to form great relationship. So when you be able to form a great relationship, the customer more likely to keep coming back and keep consuming the products and coming back to watch the games. We talk about the importance of the service quality. We have to also know about one thing is service quality is difficult to match, right? Unlike product quality, right? How could we match up product quality? It's easy. We talk about you're gonna buy basketball, right? So whether the products conform to specifications, right? You buy this basketball, you want to use this basketball to play games. Whether this basketball, the quality of the basketball can help you play the game. So that's something. How long does it last, right? You bought a book from bought a basketball from the supermarkets. How long could you use this ball? But how quickly is it fixed when there are problems, right? So those are product qualities. To measure product qualities, a lot of time we don't need to do a survey. All the customers are able to measure this service quality, product quality. To measure service quality is different. We talk about service quality is more about your experience. How are you going to measure experience? You need to go and really ask people, and how do you feel about coming to these events? Right? How is the experience? Is there anything that we could do to improve in the future? Right? So you need to go and ask them about it. To understand how to measure the service quality. So first thing we could do is we can conduct a survey. Right? Survey can help you to understand the current challenges and the need of your markets. We can conduct either qualitative survey or quantitative survey. Some students may take statistics class before, some students may take marketing class before. When we talk about marketing research, we know we have to conduct survey. Right? Either qualitative, we can ask people some questions, and then they're able to give us more in-depth response to help us understand more about the experiences. And for the that's a qualitative. For the quantitative, we'll be able to develop some multiple choice question, allow them to give us some feedback, right? So that's one thing we can do. Second thing we can do is we can integrate customers' feedback, right? Integrate customer feedback. There are multiple different ways, right? When people are coming to this event, we could just ask them. We can observe how customers' reaction during the games, right? The observation will also help you. Social media could also very important, because when people happy, enjoy an experience when you watch a sports event, you're more likely to share on your social media platform, share how happy you are. If you're upset, you also would like to share about it, right? So you can use the social media to monitor how people are using the service, using the sports event, to consume the sports event. So it's kind of important for us to provide feedback in place. To measure service quality, there are many different skills has been developed by scholars. I'll just show you one of the example, right? So these skills is pretty popular right now, used in the to measure people's satisfaction experiences when they're participating in an event. So for this skill, they look at 5 different factors. The first thing is tangible. Tangible is talk about whether the stadium is visually appealing, whether the facility is very clean, right? So these like tangible things. The second thing they want to know is about responsiveness. So they want to know when people need help, whether they're able to get help right away. So when people are not happy, whether that problem can be addressed, can be fixed immediately. And also, they also talk about whether the events, staff, and volunteers, they are willing to help. Right? We talk about accessibility to the stadium. Right? When you go to the stadium, whether it's a lot easy for you to find out the parking places, whether it's very easy for you to find out your seats. So those are about access. Securities, that means you're feeling safe, high standard security provided during this event. Reliability is talking about team delivered service. So you believe in the service which is provided by the team. Okay, so this is about how we're going to measure service quality. We spend a lot of time talking about service quality, right? Because the reason is this model, right? Providing a very good service will enhance people's satisfaction. When people are very satisfied with the experience, they are more likely to revisit the stadium, repurchase the products, and send out positive word of mouth to more people. Right. So this is about the service quality. Okay, so that's the first part of today's lecture. Second part of lecture, we're going to talk about what kind of service should we provide. Okay, so this second part of lecture will be in another video. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to talk about the second part of lecture in next videos.